All right, so today we're going to talk about a word we hear all the time in the extension world, and that is silicone. Now, here's the deal. Clients notice it because it makes the hair really shiny, it makes it feel soft. I mean, realistically, stylists noted it because it does kind of make installs easier, depending on how much silicone there is, and brands use it because, well, to be honest, it can cover up flaws in processing when it comes to extension. So, what does silicone actually do to hair? Now, silicone is essentially a synthetic coating that brands use to put on extensions that do make them look and feel better. You can think of it kind of like makeup for hair. It's going to create instant results, but that doesn't change the quality of what's underneath. Like if you're having hormonal acne or you're having a breakout and you put makeup on top of it, that's not gone. It's just covered up. Now, when extensions are just fresh from the package, have you ever felt it and you're like, oh my God, it's so smooth, it's silky, it's glossy, and sometimes you're like, feels a little bit like Barbie hair though. You know it's not synthetic, it's real hair, but there's so much silicone on it that it almost stops feeling like real hair. And that shine and softness really is one of the first things that stylists and clients kind of like fall in love with. But the problem is it's artificial shine. That is not the natural health of the hair. It's like if you wax a car. If you wax a car that has scratches, it might look flawless, but the wax is going to wear off eventually. So what actually happens when that silicone wears off? Because the question isn't, is the silicone going to wear off? The reality is the question is when, because with washing, heat styling, all of those things slowly start taking away all of the silicone that's sitting on top of those extensions. And once that is gone, once that top layer has been stripped, the silicone has been stripped, whatever the quality of hair underneath is, that's 100% going to be revealed. So if the hair was over processed, and I've talked about this before in other videos, the difference of using 40 volume versus 10 volume, right? Both can get you to the result, but one of those is really gonna fuck up some hair. Like that's going to be an issue. If the hair was over processed when it was created, when it was colored, whatever it is, or even permed, it is going to start to tangle. It's going to start to mat. It's going to feel very dry. It's going to feel very brittle. It's going to start getting split ends. It starts to like break down. And I don't mean like melt away, but all of a sudden you're like, damn, this hair isn't that old. Why do I see so many fucking split ends? And I know all of my brunette babes will see that more. Clients will feel like that hair was high quality, great, amazing, 10 out of 10, and literally went bad overnight. Like the minute that coating wears off, they're going to feel like that hair is shit. Now, unfortunately for you as a stylist, that can lead to very unhappy clients. That's just the reality of it, right? You are the one, regardless if you're the one who made the hair or not, and it's your hairline or not, you bought it, you put it in the client's head, you are 100% going to take the blame, and that could lead you to actually losing clients. Now, that could also mean more maintenance. It could mean more replacement hair and having to do more moisture treatments. We talked about it, never protein or keratin, to try to give that hair that like healthy, soft Barbie hair that the client had in the beginning. Now, how do you know if there's silicone coating on the hair? Well, most of them have it. Like, I'm just gonna be real with you. Unless it's 100% raw, virgin hair, straight from the person's head into a little ponytail bundle, straight to you, it's going to have some kind of silicone coating on it. Now, 3 signs of silicone. First off, too shiny or too slippery, like right out of the package. Once again, think Barbie hair, right? If there is a very strong, like, chemical or plastic smell, especially when you get it wet and wash it the first time, just something to be aware of, right? Now, I will put an asterisk on that because if you're using like curly hair or hair that's obviously had to be permed, you could still maybe smell that a little bit, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there is a lot of silicone on it. Because obviously extension hair that's been permed is now going through a double process. One to match the color, one to match the texture. So there's kind of like asterisks to this as well. But another thing that could really give you like a big sign of like, ooh, there might be a lot of silicone on here is when you actually start to color the hair. If all of a sudden you're like, damn, you get it out of the package and you're like, I need to tone it or I need to do whatever, and you don't clarify it or wash it first, you put color on and you're like, this color is not sticking. This is just not what I thought. It's the color's literally not working. There could be a lot of silicone on there because you have to think, and I hate to say eat through, but you have to think now the color has to eat through that silicone, penetrate through the silicone in order to penetrate into the hair strand of the actual hair itself. Is your color going to have enough power to do that? There's a chance it might not. Now, I also want to be clear with something. Silicone is not bad. I feel like I'm talking about it kind of in a negative sense right now, but silicone inherently isn't bad. Silicone in products like serums or heat protectants can actually be very, very beneficial when it's in small amounts, right? It creates slip, it detangles, it can protect from heat. Like, those are all great things. But there is a difference between a temporary styling aid and using a fuck ton of silicone to overly coat hair to hide the actual integrity and like quality of the hair underneath. My hairline has silicone on it. Morning hair has silicone on it, but it's very, very little amount. Why? Because when we process our hair, we use a low and slow process. So once again, imagine using 10 volume versus 40. We are using 10 volume. Does that mean our hair takes longer to make? Yes. But that also means once that little bit of silicone wears off, what you're left with is still really great quality, and then it feels like real hair. And that has like always been my personal preference. Now, can silicone itself actually cause matting later? Yes, but no, because here's what you have to think about. Once that silicone completely washes away, and it's going to, it's not an if, it's a when, the cuticle underneath is now, that's shown, right? It can be exposed, it can be rough, it can be raised, it can be going in different directions. And that exposed cuticle, depending on the quality of it and like the integrity of it, is what can lead to tangling and matting. Because essentially, if the hair quality itself is a lower quality of hair, which, hey, like, no shade, no problem, it happens. Like, it's okay. As I feel like as long as a company is honest and they're like, yeah, it's lower quality, but and like won't last you as long, but like it is what it is, do you. But silicone eventually does, it kind of just becomes a band-aid. And once it's all gone, the problems show. And that's why some stylists will find that they're like, oh my gosh, the hair feels so great, it's so wonderful for like 2-3 washes, and then all of a sudden it's becoming unmanageable. The silicones wore off and it's just low quality. It just is. So as a stylist, what can you do? I'll be honest, like, this is the part that just fucking sucks, because you are not going to know the quality of the hair until you buy it. And then you have to make sure that it's not an ABC hair company, because if it is, you're gonna love your first few batches, and if you don't continue to buy in that high amount, you are going to get a lower quality of hair, and you're never gonna know it literally until you install it in a client. So what you can do though, if you're a little bit nervous about it, right? Once you get the hair, take like a gentle clarifier to it. I'm not talking Malibu, guys. I'm talking just like a normal clarifying shampoo. Be sure to clarify it. You're gonna be able to see all like the suds and the bubble and like all of that kind of rinsing off. That's good. Do a really good conditioner, and I don't mean a deep conditioner or a mask, because once again, those tend to have proteins and keratins, and we can't do that. But then at least you're gonna kind of see what it is that you're working with. It will be a little bit easier to color if it had heavy silicone on it, just because some of that will be gone now, but also you are risking that coming off a little bit sooner, because once again, the more you wash, the more you style, the more that comes off. But I don't want this to deter you from doing extensions and to think like, oh my God, like, all hair is trash, because it's not. There are so many great hairlines out there. It's just a matter of what sucks is kind of testing them. Here is the bottom line. Silicone is not evil, but in extensions, the amount of it can be considered a red flag, because it can make hair look really amazing at first, but then once it wears off, you're just left with whatever the fuck was underneath it. And that's why brands do tend to coat the hair, is really to hide that damage. But that's why morning hair, I really wanted to take a very opposite approach and go low and slow, no heavy coatings, no heavy silicones, because this hair should be lasting you a year. Extension hair should last you a year. This is not something that you should have to keep replacing every 3 to 4 months. And as always, if you have any questions, you can comment below. I'm always happy to make more videos or answer comments or even DMs on Instagram as well. You are more than welcome to send me a message. Like, it's never a problem. It's never a bother. This is shit that I could talk about like day in and day out.